remember having a whole lot of weird, crazy dreams. I think most one that really got to me, my mama.
Mm-hmm.
I dreamed of several times being at a funeral,
Mm.
and I was the only one there. That's when I knew in my mind, submind, I'm thinking I'm dead. That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be. I mean, why would I? I done been to a funeral and it was a truckload of people there. Why would I dream about my mama? Ain't nobody there but me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so welcome back to the channel. I'm Kamaya, and today I got a real special guest with me. A lot of y'all know my story. In 2020, that's when I rededicated my life to God. In 2022 was when, after I spent 2 years reading the Word, that was my first time ever having this question and concern. And I was like, if God was really real, I felt like I had spent 2 years reading the Word, and that could have been a waste of time. And so last year, God instructed me to go to my parents' house, and a conversation was held, and it went from one thing to another. And needless to say, once I had that conversation, I've never questioned if God was real. After that, so I got my dad with me. Well, tell the people your name.
Milton Maurice Magwood Sr.
Yes. So I got my dad with me, and he got a powerful testimony. And this is his first time talking about it. Is it in public?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't talk with certain people.
Yeah.
Mainly my psychiatrist I used to see
Okay.
a few years back. That's probably the only one that actually. I mean, she documented every word for word. I need to go get the transcript from before she decided to write a book on me without letting me know. But anyway, yeah,
Right.
I never really just came
Talk
out.
about it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're gonna talk about it. I do want to talk about it, but I do got a question for you. Okay, I never asked. But prior to you getting into your accident, how was where would you say your relationship with God? Where were you in your relationship with God if it was one? 'Cause I know you was raised in the church.
I mean, before then, I felt like it was. I mean, I had a pretty much good relationship. I mean, I don't say my prayers like I should, but
Prior to that,
yeah,
you weren't saying prayers, but you had a relationship. You felt like you had a
yeah,
relationship.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so then you end up getting to your accident when?
Uh, 2007, June 30th, 2007.
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was 2011. I don't know where I get that from.
2000, actually 2007. Actually, almost a year after my mama had died.
Okay. So Miss Helen passed first, and then you got into your accident.
Like a year later.
Okay. So I'm gonna take her intermission. But if you see me looking this way, it's cause I'm making sure we still recording.
Gotcha.
Okay, so after Miss Helen had died, then you experienced your accident. So the day before that, can you remember the day before? And matter of fact, I'm gonna let you tell it just a basis or a synopsis of what kind of accident you was involved in first before you get into your story.
Okay. It was what they call a flash fire. The machine was stopped up. I ain't gonna call the name of the machine because that's
Yeah.
not form. But anyway, plastic machine that makes plastic. It was like a ball of fire, and go right out.
Okay. And far as your injuries, what kind of?
I had 48% of my body got burned
Okay.
from the fire.
And that was head to toe.
Yeah,
48% of his body.
yeah.
And so I talk a little bit about it on the podcast, not a whole lot, because I wanted my dad to tell his own story. So God is good because he is. And all right, the night before that, so the night before your accident, can you remember? Because you worked night shift.
Yeah, I worked night shift. The day prior to that, me and a good close co-worker, we had plans. We was going that Friday. We was gonna take off. That's why the head supervisor was off that night. I got hurt. Me and him playing, we were gonna go to Douglas and get some tattoos. I done saved up the money, he done saved up his little money, and then we talked about that. I got off that morning, everything was good. Me and Mama ate breakfast, and I can kind of remember a little bit. I mean, it was just a good day. I ain't think nothing about it.
So you had said the original supervisor wasn't supposed to be working. I mean, was supposed to be working. So that means you went in on your off day.
Well, actually, he took off. What it was, I was gonna take that Friday off because he normally be off on Friday. So he took off that prior night.
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, because the accident happened technically 4-day Friday morning. Technically.
Early, so you went to work on Friday.
Well, Thursday night. But
Okay, and it happened that Friday morning.
Yeah, after midnight.
Okay, all right. All right. So the morning of the accident, prior to leading up to the accident, what was going on at work?
I mean, everything was normal. Production was good. I was a little worried because the particular guy we put on that machine, mind you, that machine was a new machine. It probably been in the building it probably was in operation for, it wasn't even a whole year.
It was new.
Yeah, it pretty much was, I'm going to call it a prototype. Because it has different little features to it. It was a souped up version of what I was used to running, I put it to you that.
Okay.
And we put a new guy on it, which I thought was a bad idea, but we were short-handed. We didn't have no choice, so we put him on it. He acted like he was doing good, and being the night supervisor, I would make him around. So they radioed me, "Hey man, such I ain't gonna call the name of the machine done went down. We need you to come see what's going on with it," because they didn't know what actually. So got down there. The guy, I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Well, it's I shut down the change the screen out, and I forgot to turn one of the feeds off." I said, "Okay, you done stopped it up, basically." I said, "Ain't no problem." I said, "Well, did y'all try to clean the mouth of the machine out?" He said, "Well, we didn't know what to do," so I got under there. I said, "Well, how long did you leave the feed on?" So nobody, it's about 4 or 5 of them, they didn't know. I said, "Oh, God." So I'm thinking, I said, "Well, it couldn't have been long." So I got a pry bar about that long. Reached up under the mouth of it. In fact, I had to squat down on the conveyor belt, probably about that much room. And I'm cleaning it out. And I heard something kept clicking. And I said, normally when you hear that clicking sound, it's pressure build up. Normally what it'll do, it'll poof. So I just kept messing with it, but it kept clicking. I said, this ain't good. And about the time I pried on it again, it went to clicking faster. And that's when everything just went haywire.
A big explosion.
It was me. I ain't gonna call that name. Another guy on this side of the conveyor. Rest of them, about 4 of them on that side. Mind you, I couldn't see nothing. Of course, the fire hit me and went right out. It's almost like if you watch one of them old Vietnam movies when they drop what they call napalm, it makes a fireball then disappear. That's basically what happened.
Oh, so it really wasn't an explosion.
No, I mean, it was more like what they call a flash fire.
Okay.
It was like, and go right out. But the shirt I had on supposed to have been a fire retardant shirt. Mine, it caught on fire. Only thing I seen was fire in my face. So I'm trying to get off the conveyor belt, and I remember it was an open space, and I said, well, I ain't gonna cuss, but I said, hell, I'm gonna just roll off it. And I rolled off it, not realizing it was an I-beam down. One eye didn't dislocate my shoulder, because when I rolled off it, I got stuck between the I-beam and the conveyor belt and fell on the floor. And I got up, and I remember I hit the back of my head, because I remember months later, they asked me about, I had a scar on the back of my head, what happened. I told them, I said, I remember hitting something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, I got up and snatched the shirt off.
And you still in flames.
Yeah, I had to snatch the shirt off me, literally. I'm talking about my chest burning, arm burning. I'm like, damn. And it was a guy around there. He come around and he seen my shirt. He went to scream, and I was like, whoa, calm down.
And you was calm?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because everybody done ran out the back door. I finally came out, and I got a cousin. I ain't gonna call his name. I mean, he worked out there. He come around there. He said, man, you all right? I said, yeah, I just need a soda.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, man, something wrong. He said, hey, come on, sit down for a minute. They done called the ambulance.
And by this time, the fire out.
Yeah.
But how you managed to put that out? By taking off your shirt?
Yeah, I had to snatch it off.
Okay.
Because what happened, that shirt supposed to be fire retardant.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like I had a plastic bag. They would melt it on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was sitting outside plucking the shirt off me.
Okay.
Not really, I was pulling the skin off, but I mean,
but you thought it was a shirt.
Mm-hmm. The way it was, my shirt was stuck to my skin.
Oh, but it was taking your skin with it.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize that. I called that probably pretty much was in shock at that moment because it burned for a minute, then it just stopped. I wasn't hurting no more. Now, the other guys out there, one was laying in the ground. I thought he was hurt to work because he was screaming, kicking. Of course, he was a young fella. Mm-hmm. In fact, that boy there probably was, I don't even think he was 22 years old.
And you was what, in your 30s?
Yeah, I had to be about, 35?
Oh, you was young
36.
too.
Mm-hmm.
35, 36.
36, going on 37.
Okay, so the fire out, you sitting outside, and then...
We waiting on the ambulance. Ambulance got there. My cousin, he sitting by me. Everybody was around. One guy was over there crying. The other one screaming. And the one, my wife know what I'm talking about when I do this with his hand. He was hurt. He wasn't hurt bad as me, but he scored his hand up. I think what that came out from, he was trying to get the fire out on his stepson. His shirt had caught. Because when the fireball came out, technically it got all of us that was standing there because we all was right there.
But you was right in the center.
I was right in the center. I was in the epicenter of it.
Okay. So on our side of the world, well, no, I ain't gonna say on our side of the world because the EMS had to come. So how you got transported by EMS?
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's when things started really getting crazy.
Mm-hmm. But you remember everything that's going on?
Yeah, pretty much. At that point, so I'm sitting down and I couldn't hold the soda. So my cousin, he was pouring. He said, "Man, let me just pour it in." I said, "Man, I'm just thirsty. I don't know why. I'm just thirsty." Not realizing I had done got scarred real bad. Mm-hmm. He would never say that. So the ambulance pulled up, and I said, "Well, where my brother at?" He said, "I think somebody went to get him. He on his way." I said, "Okay." I said, anyway, so ambulance pulled up. It was about 3 y'all. Mm-hmm. They were checking out all the guys. They ain't paid me no mind. I'm just sitting down there quiet. Mm-hmm. And he just jumped up. He done went to cussing on folks, calling them. I said, hey, man.
Your cousin.
Yeah, he said That's when I knew. I said I heard the word. Mm-hmm. That's when he said, "Hell, he the one that's."
So EMS came.
They came, load me up in the ambulance. They trying to figure out where to run the IV at, and I'm like, oh man. So I'm just laying there on the stretcher. I'm trying to keep calm, but my chest don't went to fluttering. Mm-hmm. So the guy, he was a big dude too. Mm-hmm. He said, "Man, I'm gonna have to put it in your foot." So he had to take my boots off. And mine, they already done cut my uniform pants leg to pull it up. Yeah, just in case if they couldn't get it in my foot. So he got it in my foot. We got loaded up. He said, "All right, we're going to transport you to the hospital." So, I'm thinking, I said, okay, it's bad, but it ain't that bad. I get to the emergency room, ambulance back in, open the door. I'm like, when in the world all these folks out here? And I look, and I seen your mama and Mom Rosalie. Mm-hmm. And your mama, she was trying to stay calm. And my Rosalie, that's what kind of got me, because she did like this.
That's when you knew.
I knew. I said, I'm bad. Because I didn't realize I was covered in soot.
Okay.
But what happened, I guess in adrenaline pumping, don't went to sweating, that soot running off me.
And so now bare skin.
Yeah. Yeah, it was some of the pink meat was showing.
Okay.
Anyway, we got there. And your mama asked, she said, Maurice, you all right? I said,
Okay, hold on. So that's what I was finna say earlier. So on the other side of the world, prior to the hospital, and so I think I was like in 2007. I had to be like in the fourth grade. I think I was in the fourth or third grade.
third or the fourth, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And so I remember that night, for some reason, the TV, because we all slept in one bed, and then the TV had stayed on all night.
Yeah.
And I remember, for some reason, I couldn't go back to sleep, but I know that was a school night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it being a school night, and I couldn't go back to sleep, and I remember that blue, because we were watching a DVD.
Well, I don't know. Hold on. Couldn't have been school night. That was June.
Oh, so it must have been the summer.
Mm-hmm. It was in June. It was
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I remember hearing Mom, screaming on the phone, and she was like, I hope he all right. I hope he all right. And she had mentioned something about your face. I pray his face all right. And so I woke up. I was the only one that had woke up out of my sleep.
Yeah.
And I remember going in there and I said, well, Mom, can I come with you? And she was like, no, come on. I think this bad. And then she said I could come. But then Marquille ended up waking up.
Yeah,
and so Mom had said that you gonna have to stay with them. And so I remember that night taking, because I don't know how many pair of work boots you had, but I remember taking a pair of your work boots and it was a picture of you. I don't know who else. I know it was a picture of you. And I slept in y'all bed that night. And then we woke up the next morning. That's when Mom came and got us, and we ended up going to Auntie Cunning house. Yeah. So that's what was going on prior to you getting transported to the hospital. And then Auntie Sonia came and then picked her up. Okay. So you at the hospital, you see Auntie Rosalie. She made her facial expression. That's how you know it was bad.
And so they done wheeled us in there. In fact, all the ambulance pulled in all at the same time with everybody. In fact, they had them brought 3, and I guess the rest of them somebody brought them. But I know 3 of us rode in an ambulance each. So we get out there. They had us in that far back room, emergency room, because I was on one side, another guy was on that side. Because your mama came in there with me, and Mike came in. Mike said, "Well, I need to call our older brother, Mark." And I said, well, I'm going to need to use your phone. And I'm looking at it. You got your own phone. So I was like, because, I'm trying to stay calm at that point. So they had my breathing went to acting up. And so they went to giving me oxygen. I'm just laying there. And me and your mama talking to me. So I'm sitting there thinking, now mind me, I'm all hurt. I'm started feeling, I'm starting to burning sensation now. While all that going on, I sitting there thinking about it, because I just bought this phone, $400 phone. I told your mom, I said, look, go out there and get my phone. I said, because he got his own phone. I tell him I want my phone now. So she had to go out there. I can hear them in the hallway arguing. I heard her. She said, well, Maurice wanted such and such phone. And he gave it to her. Well, he done called Mark. And I'm like, well, that's good or whatever. Dr. Lucky walked in. So he looked at me. He looked at the other guy. He walked to the door. He said, look, we ain't gonna be able to treat them here. We're gonna have to ship them out to Augusta. And by the time he said that, the HR lady walked in with another guy. They trying to fumble about, in fact, one of the guys that worked in maintenance, he also was a firefighter. He was telling them they got a hazmat book and all that. And, I'm looking, I'm trying to tell him, I say, well, it's carbon black on us. And that when I told Doctor, it's carbon black. He said, well, they say they want to get the book. I said, well, ain't nobody got no chemicals on them. So they trying to make a decision. And finally, Dr. Lucky just broke down. He said, look, call Augusta Burn Unit, tell them they need to get them helicopters in flight right now. We're going to have to get them out of here now. And by the time that they getting me ready, getting the other guys ready, and your mama, she like, ooh, I'm gonna have to find a way. I said, well, Sonya might could bring him. And she said, okay. So I'm laying there. Then I put a silver lining. They done got me all prepped and all that. And all of a sudden, I just went to feeling funny, and I just went to freaking out. Dr. Lucky said, I heard him say the word, we're going to have to put him under right now. And your mama, she went down.
Crying.
I almost lost it then. I was looking at her crying. I like, oh damn, hope I ain't dying.
Yeah.
But anyway, I remember them put that liner, zip it up, and that's all I remember. I don't even remember them putting me on the helicopter. And next thing I remember, I heard her voice. Man, I'm thinking this the next day. And I realized, about 30 days later? But they had my eyes
Covered.
covered. Cause they were slowly weaning me off that coma. But the weird part about that, in that coma, I hear a lot of people say, you been in a coma, and they probably don't have much brain activity.
That's what I was just finna. Okay, that's what I was finna ask.
Tell you, that's a totally different.
Okay, so when you went out, and you say you woke up 30 days later, you thought it was the next day, but it was really 30 days. Was anything going on in the middle of if you can remember, in the middle of them 30 days?
I remember having a whole lot of weird, crazy dreams. I mean, I could go on and on. I think the most one that really got to me, my mama. I had a dream. I dreamed it several times. The first one I can remember being at a funeral. And I was the only one there. That's when I knew in my mind, sub-mind, I'm thinking, I'm dead. That's what I'm thinking. I got to be. I mean, why would I done been to a funeral and it was a truckload of people there. Why would I dream about my mama? Ain't nobody there but me. And then, next time I dreamed about her, it was a tunnel. And you can see the sunlight and you can see the desert.
And so it was a tunnel with light.
But when I got to the edge of it, it was hot.
Did it get brighter?
It got brighter. All I could see was sand. And I kept hearing my mom. She said, "Come back." I'm like, "Why? I mean, it's daylight out here." I kept hearing her saying it was hot. Then I just, next time I dreamed about her, I dreamed about her and Mom, Bobby Jean. They was taking me, where was they? Hold on, give me a minute, because that's been a minute. They were taking me to a doctor's appointment for something. I can't remember exactly what it was. And they was talking. I'm just sitting in the back seat just looking at them. Then, as time went on, I thought about back to that dream. I said, damn, I wonder was I dying? But
yeah. So seeing a tunnel, because it was one story that I know a lot of people that experienced close to death, because I think it was really close to death. Your conscience was, your soul was wandering.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
As time went on, I think back to that dream. I say, I guess that was a sign or something, because, I kept wanting to go in the light, and my mama, I can hear her voice. I never saw her face, but she kept saying, "Maurice, come back. No, don't go out. It's hot out there." And from me looking at that tunnel, you could see the little heat waves off the ground.
Could you feel it?
No, I couldn't feel it, but I could see it. Hell, man, it was just real, like the sunlight, real bright.
And so, some people, the close to death experiences, they kind of can see literally the room. I've heard stories where people say they can see the rooms and rooms they was in. And I remember you told me a story that you was in a hospital room in a dream you had.
Yeah.
And so elaborate on that.
This one here, I ain't gonna say it's funny, but it's kind of crazy. The first one, I could literally see myself, and that's what's weird. I could literally see myself laying in a hospital bed, and I was like, why do these people got my arms strapped down? And this white lady used to come in there, supposed to been giving me the medicine. Because I told your mama, I said, you know they wasn't giving me no medicine. She said, what you mean? I said, that woman I watched her put water in the syringe and then put it in my IV.
And so so you said that basically you was dreaming this,
Yeah.
but it was actually happening.
Well, I was actually in the hospital bed.
And this was actually happening in the physical realm, but you was dreaming this at the
Dreaming.
same time.
Yeah, I
And you
was
could see everything that was going on in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, Carol, this is good.
And then next time, I had a dream seeing myself in the hospital bed. Johnny. For some reason, somebody had called and told Johnny, and he came in the room and he talking to me. So I asked him, I said, hey man, cut these straps off my arm. And he kept looking around. He took his little knife out. Your mama walked in and told him, no, you ain't supposed to cut no straps off his arm. And Johnny was like, I'm going to cut them off him. You know, I did. Now, the next one I had was, well, I ain't going to call it a dream. It used to be a white guy.
You talking about the singer or the priest?
The priest.
Oh, hold on before you say this, cause this is a story. This is a story that got me, and so this is a part of the story that my dad told me last year, and that's what convinced me to never again question if God was real. Besides this one that you left out, but before you had woke up, it was another dream you had told me last year about being in a desert and getting ready to approach a door.
Okay, now that's somewhat back to the tunnel. Because at the tunnel, it was an opening, but on the other side, I went out, it was a door there. Now that I think about it, take me a minute to remember some of that stuff, but yeah, it was a door. And I'm thinking my mama was telling me not to go out and walk over to that door and open it.
What you thought? What now that you out of it, what you think it was?
Well, most folks probably would say, you open that door, that's probably it.
The door to hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, something else you told me was it was a dream that you was having where you was walking in the desert, and you remember seeing.
I seen some footprints, and I kept wondering, I'm like, who is following me? But I don't see nobody. The more I moved, the more the footsteps kept coming. You know, as I sat back, when I started going to seeing that psychiatrist, and I was telling her that, and she was like, well, you know what that is. You ever heard of the story about the footprint?
In the sand?
Yeah, and I looked at her, I said, I know where you're heading with this. But I told her, I said, look, I didn't say I just seen the footprint.
The footprints, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what, when you told me that, that's what I thought about. Because Miss Tracy, Sable Mama, in her house, she got it where you got the footprints on the sand. It's a story.
Yeah, it's a story. I mean, you used to go on some of these stores and buy the little picture, and you'll see it have a little scripture, and you'll see the little footprint.
Okay, and so them was the stories that did it for me. Now, when you're waking up, and then I know especially about the priest that came into the room.
Okay, it's two. Now, the first one, they had me bandages. And one particular time, I could move and the bandage ease up. I can see out my right eye a little bit. And he would come, I don't know how long that man had been coming, but he would come every morning. He'd come in there, talk with me, read the Bible, say a prayer with me, whatever. But I wasn't able to talk, so. So one particular morning, he came early for some reason. I heard the door open, so I'm being nosy. I'm a nosy person. And I'm looking. I said, I think got somebody with him. At least that's what my mind thinking. And I looked again. I said, ain't nobody with him. And then I looked. I said, ain't but one thing that could have been. I said, when that man walked in, cause the room got warm. So in my submind, I'm thinking, I said, well, That's a true man of God. 'Cause that's the only one thing that could have been what I thought I saw. It must have been Jesus
And
Christ.
so, but describe what you see at the door.
Hmm?
Because did what you see come
It,
inside? Did it come inside the room?
it came in right behind. He walked in and it walked in with it. It was all. I mean, it wasn't like a actual figure. It was more or less like a shadow,
A energy.
an energy shadow or something of that nature. And I was like, okay. And that man, he would come. He would come. In fact, when the last time I talked with that particular guy, he came. We sat there. He sat beside the bed with me. That's when they had done took the thing off. I could talk a little bit, and I told him about it. And he said, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I see you do believe." I said, "Yeah, I believe."
Yeah.
Nah, the second priest. Nah, this one here. He was. I'm gonna call him the singing priest.
Mm-hmm.
He was a chaplain for the Air Force. Actually, both of them guys. But this one here, he was Korean. You know, he had that Korean accent. He loved to sing.
Mm-hmm.
At one particular morning, he come in the door. He said, "Mr. Maxwell, how you doing?" I said, "Oh, here we go." Cause he used to. I'm gonna tell you, his favorite song was "Amazing Grace."
Oh, really?
He wouldn't be off key or nothing. It was just weird hearing, an
Yeah.
Asian guy singing a gospel song. I like, oh Lord.
And so when you had woke up, can you remember when you woke up, like when you first woke up out of that, or being on so much medicine?
Being on so much medicine, it was hard to determine if I was actually all the way awake. Cause some things I will remember, some things I won't. Like I know when your mama went and got two attorneys for. And I was unable to sign the consent form.
Mm-hmm.
But see, what they had to do was transfer a power of attorney,
Tomorrow.
yeah, to your mama. So I had, they had, I want to say, two witnesses. I remember it sounded like it was a room full of people in my hospital room, and one of the attorneys. Yeah, he said, "Mr. Magwood, we get permission to represent you, and we want to see about, transfer power of attorney to you, Mrs. Magwood."
Mm-hmm.
And I was just laid there, and I heard your mama, "Morris, you need to answer these folks now." She was getting a little aggressive
Yeah.
with it. So I laid there, and he asked me again, and I finally, I nodded my head.
And so going back home, completely different. Because how many months you was in Augusta?
From technically July to October the 9th, I believe.
He looking at my mom, y'all. He looking at
I'm
mom.
trying to hard to remember dates that far
Yeah.
back. But anyway, yeah, October the 9th.
So about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
3 months. And when you came home, can you remember how you felt coming home? Especially coming home, everything different. Cause the house done changed.
Yeah,
Cause we lost the house.
Yeah, and we in a bigger house.
You lost your job. Well, not really lost your job,
Yeah,
but you had to resign from that.
yeah, I wasn't able to go back to work. It was the first few weeks was rough because my mind was just, what I could have did to prevent that happening. Which I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't my fault because I wasn't running that machine. Because I mean, if I was running, I didn't know exactly
What to do?
and that's what I leave back to me. It was a bad decision, us putting them on that machine when that guy really wasn't drinking. Because them machines out there, they get the full knowledge of that machine. You need to be, most folks say, "Oh, how you learn around with?" No.
Mm-hmm.
It takes up to exactly 2 years to know that machine from one end to the other.
And how long he was training?
Probably about, I don't even think 2 months. But he was comfortable enough. We was comfortable enough. He knew how to do the startup procedure and shut down procedure.
Okay.
But at the same time, he wasn't put in a position if he need to shut it down, emergency or whatever. Something done messed up.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
And I'm thinking, he panicked when he shut it down. Because normally you got several. It's a process when you firing it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a reverse process when you're shutting that bad boy down.
Mm-hmm.
And see, you don't take but a second to forget to turn one little switch. You can mess up a whole bunch of different things. And
Okay.
excuse me, that's what happened.
So another question, you coming home mentally, you said you was all over the place. Depression, suicide, was that something or?
Well, I didn't ever think about suicide. Now depressed, yeah, I mean, I just felt horrible some days. I would wake up, then I used to question myself.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say suicide, but I'd be like, why is I'm still here? And I wrestled with that for a long time, which they had told me when I was in Augusta to make sure I follow up with seeing a psychiatrist, because I was seeing one before I came home. Dr. Bob, what we called him. He was annoying, but anyway, he was a good fellow.
My question is, why do you think you here?
Grace of God, only thing I can think of.
And that's it?
No, believe it or not, my wife was my motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing about it, when I couldn't talk, couldn't see, she had a routine. She'd come in there and she would read to me. A lot of folks don't know that.
What more read?
She would read out the magazine. She'll read out the Bible. And she get tired of reading to me, she'll turn on the TV and she'll just sit there and just talk. Got to the point where it was getting under my nerve, but hey.
You appreciated it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think she was more traumatized than I was.
Mm-hmm.
And that took a lot out of her, too.
Yeah. I think it took a lot of the whole unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody ended up lacking something. Then
Yeah.
we talking about 5 children.
Yeah, and I'm quite sure it affected every one of y'all.
Yeah, just in a different way.
Everybody showed it in a different way.
Yeah. So, your relationship with God now, because you said before then, was you going to church before you got hurt? You weren't really going to church?
No, not really.
You weren't really praying?
No, I ain't gonna lie, one praying either.
You weren't praying, you weren't reading the word? Mm-mm. So another thing, because something my dad told him was the person who taught him how to read, or helped you with reading, was your mama. Mm-hmm. And she didn't play about reading the Bible. She kept you in church.
Yeah.
The voice that he heard in that tunnel is the one that kept him in church and having a relationship with God. So it wasn't a year since she had passed. So would you say, like, internally, how did you deal with her death? Was you angry? Or was it, like, hurt? Like, how?
It was a mixture of both. I was hurt, angry, and I never really got over her passing. Mm-hmm. It took time, but, most people, the healing starts pretty much quick. Me, I dealt with it for a long time.
Yeah.
And I got a cousin on my daddy's side. He used to kind of talk bits and bits about his dad, and I kind of know what he was talking about. Some people get over losing a parent, mm-hmm. Some people don't. And I guess I was one. I didn't really never got over. I mean, I got through it, but not over it.
Over it. Mm-hmm. And so your anger was directed towards who?
Well, I ain't gonna say completely angry, it just hurt, if anything, because, mama more or less like my backbone, which your mama.
But it's still your mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you don't discredit your wife, but that's still Mama Bell.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
And so you lost a piece of you.
Yeah.
Because that was your girl.
Yeah.
So, I'm thankful that God is good, Dad.
Yeah.
So, but I do want to say though, I do want to say that I feel like even though my mama, cause she want to be in the background, but she don't want to be on this camera. Yeah. When y'all see this, she gon' be on here next. I wish she could have got it. Would have gave you another perspective.
Yeah.
You know, from the outside looking in, because he actually dealt with it, but she watched it unfold, the surgeries, you know, all of that.
Yeah, she was there. I mean, she had the sign for every procedure.
Yeah. So, but I do think because we all have a purpose,
Yeah.
and that's why I had asked, you know, what you think your purpose is, and was you angry, trying to, you know, feel how your relationship was with God. But you know, for me personally, I feel like it happened for a bigger purpose, especially to help people that even those in Augusta. It's a lot of burn victims in Augusta. I went to that hospital. I think we went down there like 2 times.
Yeah, and you know, that's if you never been there and you happen to go in, and especially in the waiting area where people going to the doctor's appointment, I tell you, seeing the adults, yeah, it get to you, but I tell you what really break the straw
Children.
when you see them little bitty kids.
Because it's babies and adults.
Yeah, what they treat up there for burn. I mean, it be from little bitty burns to major burns.
But I think that's your biggest purpose. Your purpose is not just working. Your purpose is sharing this testimony
Yeah.
for people to know that, first of all, God is real.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, God showed favor and grace. He's a forgiving God.
He is.
Yep, merciful.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a walking testimony.
Yeah.
And that's just to birth out a different you. But I think it, even then, if I'm not and then after that came home, Mom ended up losing her actual mama.
Yeah.
And so it was event after event.
And then see with your mama, you know, I know it was hard on her. I mean, she never really got in deep details on it, but I know it was tough on her because she was having to see about me at the same time. Her mama had her own issues going on health-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I get home, things went to going downhill with her mama because when we came home the next day, she went and got her mama out the nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "The hell with this, I'm going to get my mama." And
Yeah.
that's what she did.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm thankful for y'all. God got a bigger purpose, but most of all, I believe that the prayers that your mama prayed, especially for you, because the best story with, you know, with your mama, she had you much older in life. You was her baby boy, and yeah. So you here for a purpose. You got a bigger purpose there.
Yeah.
And I just want you to share this testimony because we can get so caught up in our own walk and in life, period, and we could be a little
true.
so consumed with ourselves to think God ain't real and that we got control over time, we got control over how our life turn out, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing with that. You know, we walk around, go through life like, I don't need God right now. Jesus, then something bad happened, tragedy happened. Oh, we're on our knees, we crying, oh Lord, please forgive me, help me, and all. And you know, we probably need to be doing that when things is going good,
there you go.
and when things going bad.
Look at you, man of God. Look at you, man of God, preaching.
I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, we can take all the medicine, go over there. Like I was seeing that psychiatrist. I used to drive to Tifton every 2 days there for about a month. Even with going over there talking, you know, it ain't help, but I think what pretty much got me through, I was praying strong.
Yeah. And so you ended up developing a relationship after with God.
Yeah, I'm talking about believing I lay in the bed there, prayer. And I got better, you know. I asked the Lord, I said, if he can get me back, I know not 100%, but if he can get me close.
And look at you, because my dad working. You working? Look at this brother worked for the county. Look at that brother.
Yeah.
He worked for the county, and so I was saying the areas that got injured.
Yeah. The biggest problem I had for the longest was my hands and my feet.
Hands.
Now, as far as skin wise, it done healed up. You know, with the contractions, when your hands like that for a long period of time.
Oh, so your hands was balled up. Okay.
And what happened is, at a long period of time like that, arthritis set in. Because like right now, I have arthritis. A lot of folks don't know that in both hands.
And then you had to wear the...
Yeah. The compression sleeve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they also had to do surgeries of what it was, skin graft.
Skin grafts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did with this part. Mm-hmm. They grew that in Boston in a lab. They took part of my skin and shipped it off, and they grew it in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I get a question all the time. I had a guy about a month or so ago, man, why is you back working? I said, well, daddy. That's why daddy raised me, my brother Mike and Mark, you know. Number one rule was you don't work, you ain't gonna eat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just stuck with me. And my daddy, you know, he pretty much was tough on us about work.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why you very work. But I can't say. I believe that was the voice of the Lord. Not saying stop working. I ain't saying that now. Cause then, you know. But what I am saying is it's more for you than just working.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing this even now, like, people need to hear this story. It's so much. God wanted to use that whole thing for his glory.
Mm-hmm.
And God blesses anything that he done had his hand on. He got his hand on you, you know. Yeah. So I think that was the Lord asking, you know, while you working, you a walking testimony, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, a lot of people, I said, well, I ain't never been the one to just sit down or, you know, just sit on the front porch and watch the cars go by.
Mm-hmm. So much so that I wish my mom was here. Well, she here, but she didn't want to show up on camera. But so much so that you were so used to working that I was hearing that when you were in a coma, you would try to get up.
Yeah.
And the exact hours he was used to
working. Cause you know, I worked from 7 at night. Cause I think I remember one time one of the nurses said, "You was so active at night."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "You must have worked." I said, "Yes, man." She said, "Them girls at night." She said, "From about up until about midnight, you was all right. After midnight, you kept them girls on their toes."
Yeah. So God is good. I appreciate you, Dad. My boy is straight on word. And he found we got him in the studio. We done got him in the studio. God is good. Do you hear me? And so we ain't gonna share on these social medias because my mom control them and we don't want no problems. But
she chiming in.
But if you want to get in contact with my dad, just, you know, inbox me. I'm sure it's other people that you could travel all over. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You can travel all over and tell this testimony because it's powerful. But yeah, just get in contact with me. I thank you for taking the time out your day.
Ain't no problem.
So yeah, subscribe for more videos. I enjoyed this conversation, Dad. And if we're gonna talk about it, we definitely talked about it today. Yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. So yeah, God is good. Like, subscribe, comment if y'all have any questions. If y'all, you know, out there and wanna, cause it's a lot of. I'm telling you, why would I say people gonna be reaching out for testimonies?
Yeah. And then you know, a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. I dealt with it. You know, I said, you know, giving up was no option. You know, I wasn't gonna give up. I said, the hell with that. But
God is good.
Yeah.
God is good
all the time.
So yeah.